Detail Studio formed 14 years ago. Over the last 4 or 5 years, we've grown quite exponentially, considered as a medium-sized architectural firm in Adelaide. Majority of our work is in the education sector, healthcare, but also commercial office fit-out. We have been working on larger projects that have started to warrant the benefits and the values of Revit.
It's the greater level of collaboration with external consultants who are also modelling in the Revit environment and being able to coordinate structural models, services models with our architectural model. It takes that coordination up to the next level where you're seeing everything built in 3D rather than just reviewing lines on paper.
It educates and present to our clients and the key stakeholders some of the conceptualised ideas, but also the detailed elements of the documentation as well.
We got to a point where our Autocad libraries needed a bit of an overhaul, so that was really a tipping point in do we move to Revit. We had previously tried to implement Revit in-house. We didn't have the internal resources or the time to really use the program efficiently, so it was great to have Viewlistic as a sounding board and guidance so that we could really get stuck into project work rather than having the stress and the worry of trying to build all the content ourselves and learning to use the software at the same time, while still trying to run our day-to-day projects. So we reached out to Viewlistic.
We take the time to set up your entire backend, your template, your content, your shared parameters, all the things that you need to run a project. And then once we've got all of that in place, then we look at training people. And so we're training people, we're training them using the systems that we've developed, we're using the systems that they're going to go on to use after the training. Once the training's been done, then we can step into projects. We help you along the way. We set up your projects for you or with you, and then we help you through the project. So we're there to support you after the training as well. I think that's really key to the whole process.
More than 6 months ago we did the training, and yet we still continue to touch base and check in with Viewlistic on a regular basis to get some more assistance, mentoring and training and development regarding the use of Revit.
We actually take one of your previous projects, something that kind of conjures most of your standard project type. We don't have to concentrate on the project itself or think about the building itself because you know the building intimately. So we can concentrate on Revit and how to use it to set up a series of drawings, so plans and deliverables that you're going to be expected to deliver as a part of a standard project.
We showed them a set of documentation of a recent project which was quite complex and detailed to the level of documentation sort of quality we'd expect as the output from our office. They reviewed that and put together a list of their suggestions of which content they think they should create, and we now are using that day to day, and if there's any things missing or any holes, we contact Viewlistic and work through if it's something we're capable of creating, and if it's something we've got the time to create. We review that internally, and Viewlistic are more than happy to assist with content creation as required.
In making the decision to move from Autocad to Revit, the most fundamental thing is really making that decision. Once you've got that commitment, then it's thinking about, well, have we got a project ready to start in Revit? Who's the best people in our office to get started on Revit? Get started with us, getting your template set up, get your content set up, get everything in the back end set up, and then take it to the next step. The problem with a lot of firms have come across in the past, they've gone, yep, let's go with Revit. They buy Revit, they start using Revit, and then they realise that there's a whole lot of stuff that's missing that they have to have developed.
We felt the need to move to Revit. It's almost become industry standard as well. We didn't want to be left behind. We're always trying to be proactive and forward thinking. It's not something that necessarily happens very quickly. It's not until you start working on your own projects do you bring some of those skills to the table, but I guess it throws up a lot more questions as well, and that's where, you know, Viewlistic's training was fantastic, and it allowed us to work on one of our own projects as well and develop and understand how we document and customise it to suit our needs. Yeah, obviously moving to Revit was quite cost prohibitive as a small to medium-sized firm, but we certainly assessed the value in that. We had previously tried to in-house move to Revit unsuccessfully. The upskilling and training in staff was paramount for us to do it properly.
It's great having that external experience and expertise to guide us through the process.
I think our process is fairly unique. We come from industry and we have experience implementing Revit in a number of companies in Australia. We've seen things go wrong and we've seen things go well, and we know which ones work and which ones don't.
What we're doing it right, which is a great service to have, rather than just making things up and not knowing if you're doing things in the right way. It's great to have that checking point.